When you hear the word innovation, what comes to mind? For me and for many others, the answer is Apple. It's one of the many synonyms often tied to the idea of innovation. But lately, there's been a growing sentiment, especially among tech enthusiasts and even some average consumers, that Apple may have lost its touch when it comes to true innovation. Year after year, for example, iPhone announcements have felt the same. Even the Apple Watch, in my opinion, has felt the most stagnant over the years. So people are starting to ask, is there still true innovation waiting on the other side of the walled garden? Or just maybe, this is what the next generation of innovation actually looks like. Apple is more than just a company. I would say they have like a quirky perfectionist syndrome with a dash of humanistic values. But they are more than that. They are storytellers, they are sophisticated, they are minimalistic, and they are very user-centric for the most part. I'm looking at you, AirPods Max, and especially the Magic Mouse. Apple's personality is also defined by its core beliefs, such as social equality, sustainability, and privacy. And here's the thing, with Apple's approach, they're just not flashy marketing slogans. They really truly believe in what they do and pushing forward with their products. These are genuine, evolved versions of Steve Jobs' foundational visionaries for Apple, brought to life under Tim Cook's lead. For example, about Apple's 2030 environmental goals, using renewable energy as well as recycled materials for their products, making seamless integrations between each product to communicate with each other, and many more. Okay, before I get too ahead of myself, you're probably wondering, but I want true innovation. I want something that's different than year over year, the same type of look of an iPhone or whatever. I mean, technically, I could talk about Apple Vision Pro, but you guys would probably click off this video because Apple Vision Pro is so out of touch with its average consumers, and I don't want you to click off my video. So I'm gonna just focus on iPhone. But overall, I know you're wanting something affordable and something actually new coming to each iPhone every year. I mean, they technically have. They gave us the dynamic island, they gave us the action button, and even now the new camera control button. Those are physical hardware changes to how we use our devices every day. But if you want something truly groundbreaking, I guess really Apple isn't for you. Apple is known to be last but best in a lot of areas. For example, I know Apple Vision Pro, when stepping into augmented reality, Apple isn't going to do something that they're not confident in to give the best over-engineered product to its consumers. And I mean, being able to have the Apple experience and its ecosystem kind of handling it hands-free is truly amazing. And other amazing products, just like AirTags and software updates to Apple's AirPods Pro for hearing aid feature. Apple is a company that doesn't rush into things. Apple likes to take their sweet time, especially with one in particular software. So what really makes Apple innovative? Why do we have to have true innovation? True innovation is something that is really subjective. I mean, if we look at how Apple has done over the years, I mean, I guess true innovation could be how, they went from the iPhone 8 to the iPhone 10 and how it was a complete redesign with integrating Face ID and being its first $1,000 phone. I mean, it's another innovation for Apple to release their Apple Watch for the very first time and being able to have a companion that a lot of people can only really experience when having an iPhone. And then when getting rid of the headphone jack, which is a controversy innovation about how you're able to now have AirPods and be the most popular Bluetooth earbuds in the world. So really, when it comes to innovation, we have to look at the bigger picture, not just something that's flashy that comes year after year. For one, the ecosystem and how it seamlessly integrates each product to communicate with each other just by having an Apple ID. Innovative ways for the customer experience, from the very first time you get their box to even going to the Apple store and having their type of experience when getting a product. It's like an elegantly soft way to entice you to buy their product. And also sustainability, so that way we're using less of materials and having it be recycled. It's getting closer and closer to their environmental goals with being carbon neutral. So this is quite deliberate of how Apple, innovates. It's not always about the hardware. It's not always about the software. Sometimes it's beyond a tech company within themselves. It's how do we better the planet? How do we better our people? How do we better our users? When making wonderful things, it entices people to do wonderful things. So overall, in your personal opinion, you may feel like Apple is always late to the game or always taking too long to do something. I mean, I feel like the greatest innovation through software that we've seen is technically the calculator app. It's got a fresh redesign since Apple's WWDC event of how we have math notes and how you can, make a chart and actually do math in a more convenient way rather than just a standard calculator. I mean, we've asked especially for the calculator app to be on iPad for so long because it was the only one that didn't have it. But now, instead of just having an app just be slapped on there for a very long while that it wasn't there, it's something that they brought innovation to the table with having math notes, like I said before, and being able to have more of an option to learn how to convert inches to centimeters and money in different currencies and a whole bunch of things. Being able to use your handwriting and being able to get the answer just by forming an equation is absolutely amazing. So like I said, they may be late to the game, but as many tech enthusiasts try to push out to people to kind of have a negative light, I mean, realistically, they don't really disappoint. They always put their best foot forward in taking their time to see how other companies are doing it and seeing how they can improve on what they started. Apple is always playing chess and not checkers. They're not always going to be the ones to jump in first leap to do something new. With great hardware comes great software as well. And with something that's amazing as this, I think it's time to say hello to Apple Intelligence. It's the peak of innovation.